You may be surprised to hear that Oticon have 5 different accessories which will all work with your Oticon hearing aids, boosting your hearing in situations where your hearing aids alone may struggle. These accessories range from the TV adapter, which streams your television audio directly to your hearing aids, to the phone adapter, which sends audio from your landline phone directly to your hearing aids too. However, in my opinion, this has been a bit of a flop as it's way too complicated. Oticon also have a remote control to allow you to change your programs or adjust your volume. And then we have the EduMic, which is great for kids hearing their teacher at school. But I'm not here to talk to you about any of those other accessories today. My main focus is Oticon's ConnectClip. Now, I will say that I am super impressed with the full functions that it has, and I'll cover all of them in detail in just a second. However, there is one huge and obvious feature missing that I'll cover on later on in this video that the likes of Widex, Starkey and Phonak do have. And I really think that Oticon are currently missing a trick here. The ConnectClip has a compact design measuring 5 by 3 centimeters and screams modern technology rather than hearing aid accessory, which from my experience will encourage more of you guys out there to want to use it. Weighing in at next to nothing at 27 grams, it also won't weigh you down when it's in use. Starting with the front here, there are directional microphones seated underneath this protective grille. Here are 2 easy to distinguish volume control buttons on the side, along with a longer button which is used to turn the device on and off and answer phone calls. At the top here you'll see 2 LEDs indicating the mode that the ConnectClip is in at that moment in time, plus its battery status. If I spin the device around, you'll see the handy lapel clip for it to be clipped onto your or somebody else's shirt, depending on the mode that it's in. And then finally, for charging, this is the micro USB charging port here at the bottom. Speaking of charging, it's a rechargeable device and a 2-hour charge should give you around 16 hours of use. So if you're planning on using it every day, and believe me, you may well want to when you hear what it can do, it's worth putting on charge every evening just for a couple of hours. So that's the physical side of things covered. Let's now run through the ConnectClip's 4 main features and where my patients find it most useful. Now, I'm pretty sure that the YouTube rulebook on reviewing any technology states that you should always save the best until last. However, there are so many great features on the ConnectClip that it was impossible not to begin with one of my favorites now, which is its remote microphone mode. If you've ever found yourself in a noisy restaurant sat opposite somebody that you just can't hear because of the cacophony of sound around you, you're without question not alone. To be fair to hearing aids, they do have a tough job, and if I think about restaurants that I've been to recently, there've definitely been times when I've had somebody sat next to me who has been technically sat closer to me than the person on my own table. So how on earth are my hearing aids supposed to know who you want to hear versus who you don't want to hear? Cue the ConnectClip. If you're in this scenario and there are just 2 of you, placing the ConnectClip around your friend's neck will enable it to act as a transmitter, picking up the sound of that person that you're speaking to and then streaming their voice directly to both of your hearing aids. Now, let me explain the difference that this can make. So as this microphone will be sat around 6 inches from their mouth, it's the equivalent of having that person speaking 6 inches from both of your ears at the same time. When used in noise, this really makes you feel like you're sitting next to them and will overcome the surrounding background noise. However, that's not all my YouTube community. This device will transmit at a maximum distance of around 20 meters, so it can be used in a ton of different circumstances. For example, I have some patients that give it to their opponents in a tennis match. Some that hand it to their instructors for various activities, such as their yoga teacher, as they may not also be able to be in a position to see their lips. And I've even had people put them in their baby strollers so that it's easier to hear them when they're pushing the babies along. Plus, I even have some patients that give it to people sat in the back of their car who they would otherwise struggle to be able to hear. So you really are only limited by your imagination as to where you might find this technology will benefit you. Now, you're probably already aware that your Oticon hearing aids also have bi-directional Bluetooth built into them, which firstly means that when you take a phone call, you will hear the person on the other end of the phone directly through both of your hearing aids. And secondly, the hearing aid microphones themselves can be activated to pick up your voice, allowing you to keep your phone in your pocket so the person on the other end of the phone will be able to hear you speaking too. If you haven't tried this out already, then check out this tutorial, in which I'll link in the description to today's video on how you can activate those features. However, I think you knew there was a but coming. Whilst this sounds great in theory, I've come across two issues from my patients. Firstly, it doesn't work on all phones. And secondly, for the phones that it does work with, there are often occasions when the microphone can pick up too much sound that's going on around you, making it hard for the person on the other end of the call to be able to hear you speaking. Now, I do have a workaround in another video that can help. However, if you really want to have the most effective solution, then here we are. The ConnectClip is your answer for this. And by putting it in the hands-free mode, and this time wearing it yourself, it will pick up the sound of your own voice, and because of its directional microphone setup, it will reduce the amount of sound that it picks up in the world around you, allowing the person on the other end of the phone call to be able to hear you well, and you will be completely hands-free. The third feature worth shouting about today is the computer mode. And this is all born from the built-in Bluetooth, which allows you to connect your hearing aids to your computer or laptop, again sending the sound directly to both of your hearing aids instead of having a separate headphones or speakers set up. The microphone will also pick up your voice, so if you're on Skype, Teams, Google Meet, Zoom, etc., then you don't need a separate microphone for those on the other end of the phone call to be able to hear you. It's pretty neat, eh? And then finally, if you have a cell phone with Bluetooth but you haven't yet updated it to a smartphone, then you can pair it to allow a direct connection with your Oticon hearing aids. The ConnectClip will fix this problem and can be used as an intermediate device, allowing you to stream music and phone calls from your older phone technology directly to your hearing aids again. So there is one feature that the ConnectClip doesn't have, and I just wish that they did, because it would then be a comprehensive package and a true Swiss Army knife of an accessory. So what is it? As I mentioned earlier, there are a bunch of accessories from other hearing aid manufacturers, such as the Phonak Rogeron version 3, Starkey's table mic, and Widex's sound assist, with one specific feature when you're sat in a restaurant with a group of people. These other manufacturers' accessories can be placed on the table itself as close as possible to the people that are furthest away from you, so that their voices only have to travel to the table microphone rather than all the way to your hearing aids. And that will help to hear amongst the cacophony of sound in those noisy environments. The tech is then constantly analysing your environment hundreds of times per second and pulls out your party's speech from the background noise and then streams it directly to both of your hearing aids. So the point I want to make today is that Oticon, if your research and development team are watching, I would love to see an update to your accessories to bring you in line with other hearing aid manufacturers. Now wait a second. Before you go ahead and invest in this technology, you have to make sure that you're wearing the right hearing aid to start off with. So check out this video covering the best hearing aids of 2024.